Hey, it's that time in the show where we check in on the livestock markets with our livestock marketing specialist, Dr. Derrell Peel. So Derrell, we just had Barry Whitworth on talking about the news with bird flu. So how are markets reacting to that?
You know, really, there's not a lot of market reaction at this point to the bird flu thing. I mean, there's some continuing issues in terms of the international markets on the poultry side. But, you know, by and large, we're not seeing a lot of impacts there. It's mostly, obviously, the animal health concerns and potential human health concerns at this point.
So when it comes to just cattle markets, if there's not a lot happening there when regards to bird flu, are they remaining pretty strong heading into the new year?
Yeah, you know, we finished 2024 very strong with cattle markets. We set new record prices last year at some time during the year for all cattle markets and you know, and beef markets as well. So we're starting the year, you know, in very good pace to continue moving forward with that.
So what are some questions? What are the biggest things that cattle producers have their mind on right now as the new year chugs along?
You know, probably the biggest question is the same one that we've been, you know, we're really working on for the last year or more, and that is, when will we start some herd rebuilding? You know, we're at multi-decade lows in cattle inventories, and you know, prices are moving higher. The market's trying to provide incentives to start that rebuilding process. At the end of 2024, we had no indication that we did any of that last year. And so, you know, the question going forward will be, when do we start that process? And to some extent, the question will also be sort of how aggressive will we be about that process?
So what concerns do you have going on? I imagine the New World Screwworm news that happened in Texas is probably definitely piqued your interest.
Well, yeah, you know, we got issues like that, so we're still watching that. We've still got some trade disruption going on there. You know, most of the cattle market supply side stuff is pretty well fixed at this point. We can't really change things one way or the other at this point. So that part's not really a concern, if you will. Just some questions about how we move forward. But, you know, on the demand side, demand has been really strong for beef. But, you know, general economy, lots of political uncertainty right now, all of those kind of things remain an issue that could have some impacts on cattle markets and lots of other markets. And so that'll be what we'll be keeping an eye on, you know, as we go forward.
So if cattle prices are still remaining pretty strong, what are things that producers can do to take advantage of that?
You know, obviously we've got very strong prices. Cattle producers want to have something to sell. So, you know, we're moving in close to calving season here. So producers really want to pay attention. Yeah, every live calf is worth an awful lot right now. So it's worth a little extra effort perhaps to make sure you get those calves on the ground, keep them healthy. And then beyond that, in terms of maximizing profits, it's going to be the same thing we always talk about, and that is, you know, the revenue's there, markets are strong, but you still got to manage costs. And profit maximization will come from managing cost. So planning ahead for grazing and feed needs and you know, minimizing those extra feed costs and so on will be important in this year.
And with the past couple of weeks, there's been some moisture in the state, and I'm sure that's got to be good news for the producers as well.
Yeah, one of the things we're watching is continued drought conditions and the prospects for, you know, what forage is going to look like in 2025. So that'll be a very important consideration going forward.
All righty, thanks, Derrell. Dr. Derrell Peel, Livestock Marketing Specialist here at Oklahoma State University.